Hey everybody, I'm Scoutmaster Mike. I'm with Troop 28 in Lawrence Township, New Jersey. And today we're going to talk about our 3-bin washing system for doing dishes in camp. Now this system is a great system for two main reasons. So first, it's going to leave your dishes really clean, which is important to keep scouts safe and healthy in camp. And it's also very efficient, which means you're not going to spend a lot of time doing dishes. You can finish your dishes and get off and do other fun scouting stuff. Right? So this is something you can do at home with your 3 bins. And if you have a single bin sink, you just need 2 more bins, or a double sink, you need 1 more bin. You can do this in your house for practice before you go to camp. Now, the first and most important thing for being efficient is getting your water heated up. So here I've got on my camp stove, I put on some hot water, and the trick is to do this, you have your cleanup crew do this before you sit down to eat. So right after the cooks are finished, the cleaning crew puts a pot of water on, and that way it heats up while you're eating your meal, and it's ready when you're done. Right? So we've got our 3 bins. So our first bin is our wash bin. Right? This is the one where we're just gonna put in a little bit of soap into that. That's gonna be a hot wash. Our second bin is our rinse. That's gonna be our really hot rinse, and in fact it can be so hot that you may even want to use your hot pot tongs to put the dishes in and out. And our third bin is gonna be our sanitizing rinse. And in that we're just gonna put in a little bit of bleach. Got some bleach here. You just put a capful or so of bleach, put that in there, and that's plenty for your bin. Right. So now we're going to get our hot water that we have ready here. I'll make sure you're careful. Use your hot pads. Move it. So what I like to do is I like to put about 1/3 of the water into the hot wash bin, almost all the rest into the rinse, and a little bit into the cold sanitizing rinse, just so the water isn't super cold when you're doing your dishes. Okay. So we're gonna put that in there. We're gonna put most of the rest into the hot rinse. We're gonna save just a little bit for the cold sanitizing rinse. Okay. You got your hot water all set. I'm gonna bring in Alex here, who's gonna dump in the cold water. We've got our jug here. So putting the cold water into your wash bin, you want to cool it off just enough that you can wash your dishes, you can get your hands in there and not burn yourself. Right? So you can keep going on that. Make sure it's still hot. That's good right about there. This hot rinse, you probably want to leave as much as you can, and then put a whole bunch into our cold sanitizing rinse. Just like that. Great. Now we've got our 3 bins. And there's actually 4 steps with the 3 bins. So your first step is you got to take your dirty dish, and here I have when I made some oatmeal this morning in my pot. And the first thing you want to do is you want to scrape that out really good. Scrape out all that gunk, because you don't want any of that stuff in your wash bin. So you scrape that out. You got a garbage bag handy. Scrape it into there, so you get just about everything out. Now it's ready to wash. Okay? You've got your scrub pad. Wash up your dish. Again, there shouldn't be a lot of gunk in this pot because you scraped it all off into the bag. Clean it all around. Make sure you give it a good scrub. And next, you're going to dunk it into your hot rinse. This is where you have to be careful because you put really hot water in here. So if it's a pot, you can spin it around like this. The trick is to just rinse it out so that you don't see any soap on it when you're done. Take it out of there, put it in your cold sanitizing rinse. Again, swish it around a little bit, get everything off of it, get in the water, and then set it aside. You're gonna let things air dry. Right? You don't want to use paper towels or anything like that for drying, because that's just a waste of paper towels. So you're gonna leave that there. So then everybody's gonna come along and they're gonna do their personal gear. So Alex is gonna do his personal gear. He can scrape that out into the garbage first. Got your silverware in there, your lid, right? And again, it's wash, rinse, and sanitize. And make sure you get all that gloppy stuff out of your plate. Do your hot rinse, do your cold rinse, and then when you're done with your personal gear, nice handy thing to have in camp is your mesh bag. And so all you have to do after you're done rinsing, you just put your dishes in your mesh bag, you cinch it up, you find a place to hang it, and you just hang it right in camp, and it just dries just like that. Very easy. All right? We've got our silverware. Good on those. Bring those across. All right. Fork's good. I think we got a knife in there. Right? That's your knife. Silverware you can also set aside. Now the last thing we need to do is to take care of your wash bins. Right? So there's a good system to this that makes it very easy. So first you wring out your scrubby here. And remember, this is your wash basin, right? So it's got wash water in it, so it's like you just washed it, right? So before you dump any of these out, you want to find a place away from camp and away from any water source where you're going to dump these out, okay? So the first one you want to dump out is your wash water. Now we don't have a hole, we're just going to dump them into these buckets here, right? So we're going to dump out our wash water into the hole, right? Now you see it's still all soapy because it still needs a rinse. Well, where can we find some rinse water? Right here. So you take your rinse bin, swish that around a little bit. Now that's rinsed, and we put it into our wash bin to rinse our wash bin. We got our sanitizing bin, so this bin is sanitized. Well, we can put our sanitizing water in our rinse bin, and now this bin is done. And you can set it aside to dry. This is our rinse water. Swish that around, dump it in your hole. Now this just needs to be sanitized. This middle bin has a sanitizing water. Swish that around, put it into your wash bin. This bin's done, and this bin's getting sanitized. Swish that around, dump it out, and you're all done with dishes, okay? So remember, 3 bins, keep it clean, be efficient, be healthy, and have fun at camp.